I, Nilima Salvi, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, Indore. Today we are going to start with the next heading into the bulk characterization. In previous video we had discussed about the crystallinity and polymorphism, and today we are discussing with the second point of bulk characterization is that hygroscopicity. So hygroscopicity is the phenomena in which the pharmaceutical material or substances they absorb the moisture from the environment and they tend to absorb that atmospheric moisture into it, especially water soluble salt forms. They frequently gain the moisture from the environment, and sometimes the substance when they absorb the moisture from environment they get dissolved into that moisture, or the substance get solubilized into the atmospheric moisture. So such type of material are known as deliquescent type of substances. Example is urea, then or you can say thymol, menthol, they are the example of deliquescent materials. After this phenomena of absorption of atmospheric moisture is known as hygroscopicity, and the material which is absorbing the moisture from the environment is known as hygroscopic material. Then equilibrium moisture is mainly depends on to the humidity, temperature, surface area, exposure time and mechanism of moisture uptake. As we study, if the environment is much humid or the condition is such like rainy in rainy season, the material will get or will absorb the atmospheric moisture in rainy season more as compared to the summer. So the humidity will affect the hygroscopic nature of substance. Then the temperature. If the temperature is optimized or less, then the substance again will get more or absorb more moisture from the environment. Then the surface area. As the surface area is more exposed into the environment, the absorption of moisture from the environment uptake would be more. Then exposure time, how much time the substance is exposed into the environment, as much amount it will get absorbed of moisture from the environment. Then the mechanism of moisture uptake. There are different mechanisms through which the substance absorb moisture from the environment. So it depends on to the mechanism that at what or at which mechanism the substance or hygroscopic material is working to absorb the moisture from the environment. After that, we will start with the next heading under the main heading of bulk characterization of solids. Now, the next point into bulk characterization, that is the third main point, that is fine particle characterization. In this fine particle characterization, we study about the particle size and its distribution, then particle shape, then third is surface morphology of particle, fourth is surface area, fifth is bulk density, tap density, and sixth is flow properties of powder. In bulk characterization, we had discussed sub points, in which first was your crystallinity and polymorphism, which we already had covered, then hygroscopicity, then third it was fine particle characterization, fourth was bulk density, and fifth was flow property of powder, and sixth was your organoleptic properties. So in organoleptic properties we study regarding the taste, odor and color of the sample, or you can say it is physical verification of the raw material as well as the drug substances, which was the first step into the pre-formulation studies. After that, in bulk characterization we start with the fine particle characterization. First is particle size and its distribution. So why we study about the particle size and its distribution? So particle size variation or alteration into the particle sizes may affect various physical and chemical properties of the raw materials as well as of drugs. As the particle size, if it is very large, then it will take much time to get disintegrate and dissolution. So the bioavailability would also be increase of the drug. So in this manner, the particle size affect the dissolution rate. After that, the biopharmaceutical behavior of the drug substances and the raw materials will also be affected with the help of different particle size and their distribution. Then homogeneity of final tablet formulation. If the particle size is uniform or its distribution of the different particle into a dosage form, that is tablet, is uniform, then the tablet or final product of tablet would be homogeneous. Otherwise, the porosity of the tablet or surface of the tablet would be altered. Then, which are the methods through which we can determine the particle size and its distribution? In previous subject, in physical pharmacy 2, we had discussed regarding the micromeritics. In micromeritics, we studied that how we can determine the particle size. So, the different methods of determination of particle size is, first is microscopy. Through microscope, you can get the particle size and its distribution. Then optical microscopy, then sieving method, then image analysis and electron microscopy. In X-ray diffraction technique, we use Malvern master sizer, in which through diffraction we can find out the particle size behavior or particle size distribution of the samples. Then second heading is particle shape. So particle shape, again the shape will, if the shape of particle will vary, then it will directly affect the flow pattern of your material. ठीक है, अगर particle shape के कारण flow affect हो रहा है, then what or how the flow pattern will affect the final product. So the weight or content uniformity would be altered. Flow pattern alter होगा या affected होगा because of the particle size, then content uniformity into the dosage form also would be affected. So the particle shape analysis is again important parameter. Then the next thing is that surface morphology of particle. So surface morphology, how or the surface, outer surface, we had earlier studied about the habit. So habit again will affect the various flowability pattern of powder and chemical stability of your final product. Then next thing is surface area. So in surface area, this is a simple phenomena. If we will decrease the particle size, अगर हम particle size decrease करते हैं किसी substance का, तो उसका surface area जो है वो बढ़ता है. और particle size decrease हम तब करते हैं जब हमें उसका, उस substance का या drug का dissolution या solubility बढ़ाना हो, तब हम particle size decrease करते हैं. Particle size decrease करने से surface area ultimately increase होता है. Surface area increase होने से rate of dissolution, ये डीजो का जो रेट है आपके सब्सटेंस का वो बढ़ जाता है. Then तो सरफेस एरिया, सॉरी, रेट ऑफ डीजो जो है वो कम हो जाएगा, सरफेस एरिया बढ़ जाएगा, डिसोल्यूशन रेट जो है वो कम हो जाएगा. देन इन दिस थ्रू द सरफेस एरिया it alter the rate of dissolution, and again it used to, or the methods through we can find surface area of particles. The first method is gas adsorption technique. The amount of gas which is get adsorbed onto the surface of particle that amount of gas is calculated through which we can find out the surface area of that particle, and second is the permeability method through which we can determine surface area. The next heading is bulk density, tap density and true density. Density, again density could first of all, density is the ratio of mass to volume. So density affect flowability or flow properties of various substances or raw materials. Then density, in this we study about the bulk density, tap density, true density, granule density. Bulk density is untapped amount or volume is known as bulk density, which is denoted by the ratio of mass of powder to the bulk volume. Then second is tapped density. It is the ratio of mass of powder to tapped volume of the powder, that is tapped density, and this is untapped volume is bulk density. Then third thing is true density. True density is weight of powder to the true volume of powder. It is known as true density. Then granule density. The density of granule could affect the compressibility index or compressibility pattern of your final dosage form in case of solid dosage forms. Then tablet porosity. Tablet porosity could also be affected by the granule density. Disintegration and dissolution again affected or altered through the granule density. Then settling of particle in certain diffusible mixture or suspension is again altered or maintained through the granule density. If the density of particle is more, then the diffusion or settling would be more. The substance will get settled down faster or more. So this was granule density. The next thing is compressibility. Compressibility is the ability of substance to reduction in its volume is known as compressibility. So after that compressibility, the thing is Carr's index. Carr's index is known or it is calculated by tap density minus bulk density divided by tap density into 100. It is known as Carr's index. So next point is flow property of powders. So how we can determine the flow property of powders? So these are the various methods through which we can find out the flow pattern of different powder or solid substances. In which first is angle of repose, then fixed funnel method, fixed cone method, rotating cylinder method, tilting box method. In this all methods, angle of repose is well known or well adopted method to determine the angle of repose. So what is the angle of repose? It is the maximum possible angle in between the surface area of surface of powder of pile and horizontal surface. So this is the pile of powder and this is the surface, horizontal surface of powder. So maximum possible angle is known as angle of repose. Angle of repose is ranges from 25 to 45 degree. Less than 30 degree is free flowing powder, equals to 30 degree indicates the powder is free flowing powder, and if the angle is more than 40 degree or up to 40 degree is known as or it is poorly flow pattern for the powder. So this was the angle of repose to determine the flow property or flow rate of